Aloha, back again, Saturday shenanigans. Saturday morning shenanigans.
Early morning shenanigans.
Whew. Anyway, this morning we are removing the forward controls. Forward controls, foot controls, whatever you want to call it. Forward controls, the word forward comes from because they are forward.
Right.
Forward of what? I have no idea. They're just forward.
Yep.
You have mid controls, which be in the middle of the bike, so forward control would be
On the front.
forward of the bike.
And do you do these one side at a time, or both at the same time, or how does this?
No, well, we have to do one side at a time.
One side at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there anything to note while doing this?
The controls that are on this bike are, I would say, a bit, maybe not confused, but they're repurposed off of an earlier model bike, which is ain't nothing wrong with repurposing. I like to repurpose stuff, and they worked.
Right.
Actually, this bike only had one brake, one back brake, and it worked. You know, I don't know if you want to.
I like the front brake.
I was about to say, like Murray here seems to think my bikes are a little extreme, and he's seen probably about 4 of them that are missing part of a brake in a front.
I think brakes are good.
We have engine braking. That is
true. That is
we
true.
have engine braking.
That is true.
Proper,
Yeah, but for a part-time rider,
right?
if you're not so practiced into braking, I think having a front brake is a good thing.
I guess so. It won't hurt, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so let's remove the brake line first.
I'm going to take this camera and bring it in so people can see.
Let's just remove the brake line first, and this is sort of, when we were taking the rear wheel off, I had said something about the brake line will probably be changed, and this is what I mean by it. So they had a hard line coming out of the master, the rear brake master, going to the rear brake caliper, a hard line to a soft line, which is not uncommon. It's just potential hazard to get hung up on something because this one's hanging out underneath the bike. So we're going to remove this. Hopefully it doesn't drip that bad because we had it overnight hanging out in the back.
Right.
We are going to then, I don't think I can get to that one back there without taking this. Is this reassured that that back brake is kind of...
That looks amazing.
Right?
I love trusting my body to only one kind of janky brake.
I know you guys are going to want to see Murray ride this bike later on, right? Alright, let's get this cotter pin out. Come on. There's some people at home watching right now and saying, just take those damn gloves off.
But then your wife wouldn't have your soft hands.
Yeah, you need... Nope, cotter pin's out.
Also, it's got to stop a lot of scratches and just like general.
Yeah, so we're taking this brake rod out so we can get to that bolt. Just makes it a lot easier. And that's going to be 9/16, which I don't think I can get in there with that. This side's fairly simple. Technically it's usually only 2 bolts and takes this off. Unless you have to get like the brake rod out of the way. You know what we can use for that? Perfect use. Power tools.
I'm getting the overall impression, if in doubt, power tools.
Well, I mean, if you have it,
Yep.
use it. I don't even have this at work. I think this might migrate to the shop. In fact, I don't think, I know it's going to migrate to the shop. By the way, that was really loose. Really loose.
Too loose?
Yeah. I mean, you really didn't hear any.
Yeah, there's no power with it.
Yeah, no.
That's a little worrying.
So. I'd had another bolt. It wouldn't have came completely off.
It's not an important part either.
Oh. Well, here's one side of your foot controls. So let's get this out of the way. Man, we gotta start putting. Let's just use this. Oh, it's a new rag too. Can't do that. Is that a dirty one? Yeah, we'll use that one. Should have set up some more cardboard. It's our little parts pile we got going on. Alright, let's get to this side. Make sure my tools are all. See what I need. Let's put all the parts that we just took out away. As long as you have all your hardware stored in one area, I think it makes for an easier reassembly of it.
Now, if it were me, I would be trying to store the hardware for each part next to the part.
Right.
Whereas you just put it all in one tub.
People ask me what my knowledge, or like, how should I explain it? Like building a motorcycle or building something. You could take every piece and tear it down to the washer, the nut, the screw, the spacer, whatever. Mix it all up, and I'd find it all. And put it all back together and make it work.
Right.
And there won't be any leftover parts.
It's like, what's this? Oh, it's a wheel. Do we need two of those? No.
Yeah. Well, no, there's a lot of people that like end up with.
Yeah, lots of spare parts.
Yeah.
Thinking.
That go to IKEA, don't read the directions, put it together. What's this for? And now we have to take it completely apart again, or halfway apart to put this in there.
Yeah.
Have you done that before, Murray?
Maybe.
I know some of you have. So with proper planning,
makes it happen.
yes. With this also, thank you for that contribution. You know, another thing that this helps you keep track of your tools, because your tools don't look like
every other bit of metal,
a bolt or what.
Yeah.
So, put everything in here. It goes away. Gets out of the way. So as you can see, the more parts you take off, the more space you're going to need. So we'll just leave this right here. Let's get to this side of the foot controls. This will be 1/2 inch. Trusty power tool. Man, I love power tools.
So when you look at this side, what do you think?
Well, that side you've seen it just remove the brake rod and 2 bolts. Well, this side you have to take off your kickstand,
Right.
your shift rod,
Yep.
and your well, this is your voltage regulator,
Right.
but it's on a stand, so that's part of your foot control assembly is behind the kickstand. So all of this has to come off. Seven-sixteenths. See, when you're looking at this stuff now would be a good time because this ball sometimes comes off on the shifter, and you can see that's pretty worn.
Right.
So we might be replacing that. Yeah,
Right.
that could be a potential.
Yeah.
Not a hazard. I mean, if you maybe had to downshift really quickly and that thing popped off, and
If you're using that to brake, right? Like
yes,
engine braking.
but it would ruin your day if you were out there
Yeah.
trying to ride and have a good time and can't shift your bike. So what would I do if that happened? Well,
You're MacGyver. Something would happen.
man, you would try and find something. I mean, because it's got to be a pretty stout, like something to move it. You could shift it by hand.
You could.
You could shift by
But
hand.
that would be pretty awkward.
Being your clutches on this side too.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
But what would I do? It depends on the circumstances. It actually depends on where I am or what I'm doing. Because you really can't shift. I mean, the only thing you can do would be to try and shift it via hand. Yeah, I don't know. What would you do? Call a tow truck?
Call Haul Bikes.
They don't have small vehicles to come get you. It'd be a minute.
It'd be a minute.
It'd be a minute for them to come get you.
So what do you do when you need to get towed? When you need to get a ride?
Call Stu's Towing. If you're in Vegas, call Stu's Towing. Cause that guy's on call 24/7. He can pick up anything, and it's nice and neat. And
He knows what he's doing.
Got a box that comes out of his truck.
No.
Lays on the ground. You roll your bike in it, and it picks it back up and puts it in the truck. Yeah. And he's very reasonable on the price. He'll keep your baby safe. For your in-town bike needs, hauling or whatnot. I have a bike lift in the back of my truck.
Yeah.
But that's more personal stuff. But if I did or do see people stranded on the road, I do try and help them the best I can under circumstances. I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm late for a hot date, kind of got to weigh that out there. So, wife will.
Oh yeah. What were you doing?
Anyway,
I was playing with the bike at the side of the road. Yeah, that's not going to work.
No, you do that all day at work.
Exactly.
Why are
No,
you gonna do it
not
now?
in my time, right?
So Stu for Stu's Towing for around town hauling, and haul bikes definitely for cross country. Yeah, that's cross country, right? The United States.
Yep.
I mean, that's the only people that I would trust. Let's get back to foot controls. I'm gonna need a 7/16. Did I just take a half off here? Let's run next extension. I'm missing something. It is Saturday morning. there. Just moving. That's a tight one. Let's change that. Whoa. Okay, they are not. They are rounded 1/2 inch. What I mean by rounded is they are pretty beat up. Oh yeah. Okay.
So what do you do when you see a rounded bolt?
Well, it's going into a block, so
Doesn't it have a thing? It has a thing that goes in the middle.
that's on the inside.
Oh. Is that what you're trying to do?
Okay, so it's loose out back. Let's see. Let's see if I can get it. Damn. Let's go with try and put a metric. Sometimes you have to improvise. Just try and see if we can get it. There you go. It might be just a metric bolt that's on there. You never know. People use what they have.
Yep. And certainly on this bike, it's obviously been everything that they have.
Come on. There we go. You know, and it could be just a metric bolt, like I said, which is not very uncommon when you're taking things apart that you haven't built yourself. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, just maybe, you know, if you were on the side of the road and you only had American or standard tools.
Yeah, having a lot of different random size bolts just makes it really tough.
Right. And you kind of want to plan, if you're going on a road trip, you kind of want to plan your tool bag, pouch, whatever you want to call your tools, around what you have to take your bike apart. Maybe not completely apart on the side of the road, but just to do maintenance or whatever you need. So if you are out there and going to take a road trip, it's, you know, I mean, just standard practice. Before you go out on a road trip, check all your tires, check all your air, which we'll get into that in a different segment. But, you know, you want to check everything, not just show up on the road and, oh, that's going to be great. Oh, overshot that one. Get that out of there. Now is when you want to check your kickstand. Check the kickstand spring. As you can see, that's ready to break. You see those cracks or stress marks? So that would pretty much be a pain in the butt, because if this kickstand spring broke, that means this is going to drag.
It's going to ruin someone's day.
And then you're going to want to have to tie this up, and then when you get to a place and you can't really put your bike down, you're going to have to lean it against the wall like you do a BMX bike or your regular bike. But no, make sure your kickstand's good, because I can't tell you how many times that happened to me, but it's happened a bit. Not because of poor planning or not seeing stuff.
Things
break. Yeah, things. That's why this is a replaceable spring.
Yeah.
And this is one thing that I do. Actually, I kind of smash it over, so it doesn't have the tendency to come off. Yeah. Some stuffs are preventable. So. To prevent.
But that's why we're
short day of riding.
That's why we're stripping this down, to make sure we know what needs to be replaced and change it up.
Yep. Let's get back to this. We don't need this 12mm socket anymore. Let's get back on the 9mm, 9/16. Those are tight. Woo! Oh, that's in there. It's a good thing, though.
Well, it's better than the other side, which is coming out, so.
Right. This thing's in there. Let's loosen up. Third one. Sometimes working on bikes is a good workout too.
I was going to say, this is a bike builder's workout.
You know? We might not always have the explosive push off of stuff, but we can definitely, you know what happens when you put too much pressure and power to something, right?
You end up with children.
Is that what happened? Man.
Tony didn't know. It would have been cheaper to know that earlier.
Oh. Thank you, Murray, for saving myself from,
Hey, speaking of children, there's one. How you doing?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so that's that part taken out, and
Yep. There you go. There's the other side of foot control.
See you next time.
Aloha.